When they say they are not ready, or they could imply it, consider these two things first. We're going to talk about it, but before we do.
Yeah, we're Terrence and Jill, A God-Ordained Union, and we've been married now just under 4 years. Mm-hmm. And we're here to do one thing only, and that's to help increase God-Ordained Union.
Yes. So if you're single and you are waiting, you feel like you've been waiting for your person, not so much waiting for marriage, waiting for your person, you are on the right channel. On this channel, we encourage singles. And usually our followers are usually those who are over 40. Even though you can be in your 20s and feel like you've been waiting a long time, we understand, because it's in your 20s and going into your 30s that you start to really think about, am I going to have enough time to have a baby? And, all those pressing issues. So if you feel like you've been waiting and you've been praying and you wondering what's going on, what's wrong with you. Or,
you feel like you've been in the waiting room for a very long time. You feel like God doesn't hear you. You feel like you've actually even disqualified yourself from past mistakes that don't even allow you to even be in a position to get married. You're in the right place.
Yes.
We've been there, done that.
We've been there. I was 48 when I came across Terrence on his dating profile on a dating site, or his profile on a dating site. And yeah, I was single for a very long time. And you were what, single?
I've been single after divorce for 16 years.
Wow. Yeah. So that's all through your 30s and 40s.
So you're talking about being in the waiting room for a long time. We understand.
We understand. So on this channel, we encourage you. We're like your biggest cheerleaders, because we ain't just saying get married. No, we want you to get married to your person. Yes. And you can look at it this way. Those of y'all who are single, thank God that you did not marry the wrong person, that you still have time and God gave you grace, that it could have been that he has protected you so that you won't marry the wrong person. Because I'm telling you, it's a difference when you got your person. So on this channel, we encourage you to wait for your person and to allow God to order your steps to get to your person. We didn't settle. We did not settle. Because it wasn't that men didn't come our way, and it wasn't that women didn't come your way. But we just were very self-aware, and we just were not willing to just marry anybody for the sake of being married. Like, that's what we didn't do. So you're on the right channel. We also tell you and remind you that the enemy doesn't want you to get married. And the enemy will use anybody to try to convince you otherwise. And he will even play on your own mental and make you think you too old, and you too this, and you too that, and you got too much debt, and you this. That is all the trick of the enemy, because his assignment is to keep you from your person. Because when you're with your person, there's purpose assigned to it. There's an assignment that God has that you are to impact together. So you think you powerful single, wait till you get married. It's a whole different level of impact.
Absolutely.
So we go live every
Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And we do pre-recorded videos like this one every
Sunday and every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes, and we have a private group that meets every first and third Tuesdays from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We also do one-on-one. So if you want a one-on-one with us, we have that available. We also have a prayer call, which is not really our prayer call. It is hosted by my mom, Pastor Joyce, and we're guests on there but we come together, we pray collectively, because the power of prayer, and especially the corporate prayer, when you come together to pray, is so impactful. So we pray in the midnight hour, because that's when the enemy be on his assignment at night. So we be praying through the midnight hour. So we do that every Friday nights. Starting at 11:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time into midnight. Sometimes they be on there. We've heard them be on there up to 6 and 7 a.m. in the morning. Not the Smiths, but we welcome you to come in. Most times it ends like 2. So it goes from like midnight to like 2. And so you can get off at any time. It costs nothing. You are coming together with believers. Sometimes a prophetic word goes forth. It's how the Holy Spirit leads. So we invite you.
And it's just beautiful to be with other believers.
Yes.
And you all are in agreement to support each other and stand in agreement with each other during prayer. So that is it's just beautiful.
Yes. And Terrence, once a month, Terrence is an inspirational inspirational speaker for that goes prior to going into prayer. So if you want to join us in prayer, you can go if you want to know anything about the private group, the one-on-ones, all that great stuff, the prayer, go to our website, A God-Ordained Union.com, www.agodordainedunion.com. We'll also put the links below. And the prayer Zoom call information, once you go to our website, it is on the calendar. It is on the calendar of ours. I got to update that calendar, but it should be on the calendar. It's called War Cry. War Cry. Also, ladies, we have an ebook. For those of you especially those of you who don't have experience dating, you don't know how to communicate with a guy. This ebook is all for you because a lot of those things that are holding us back from what we want to do has to do with some things that we have sheltered up within us. And so this ebook is just for you because we say it all the time. You want something, you ask for something, for instance, marriage, but in the spirit realm, you're not open to receive it. You're like blocked up like this. And that block up could be past traumas. It could be soul ties. It could be unforgiveness. It could be a number of things that got you all blocked up. And so this ebook will help you to see some things. So even the ebook, if you want the ebook, is only $8. The link is below. All right. So, we got a comment, from someone this week, and the comment was, and I don't even remember what video it was on. The comment was, how long should we be waiting from the time we meet somebody to marriage? And I'm like, we got to clear up this message, because are we giving out signals or false expectation that it's got to be a certain, like, I guess the biggest thing we need to walk away with this is like, you can't put a time on love. Love is too powerful to put a time on it. Whether it's like this, because we just one of our private group members, she met somebody in January, and they got married last weekend. And so you can't really put a time on it. You can't put a time on it. And so this person was asking us, and we were like, like, we need to revisit this, because we're maybe.
Yeah, we don't want to give the wrong message at all.
Yeah.
At all, that you should have somebody on the clock.
And it got to be. So let me just, before we get into the topic, let me just rephrase maybe what she was talking about. So we always say this: if a guy and a woman and a man meet you in person, so y'all could be talking on the phone for months, but when they meet you in person, usually at average, and that's average. It's not that, it's not the Bible.
Right.
Usually on average, a guy knows within the 6 months, if
anywhere from 6 months to 18 months, a guy knows
if he wants to
marry the woman.
Yes. But
that's an average.
That's an average, but it's also, he might not tell you.
Yeah.
He might keep that information, and he might keep it tucked, but he knows if he's feeling you that, I want to marry this person, which goes into this topic of when they are not ready, because they could know they want to marry you,
but still not
be ready, because we always say, well, you ready when you say you ready, but so he or she can still not be ready. So we did this video.
Oh wow, it's been 5 years ago, basically.
Yeah,
it was like when we first started the channel. Within our first 10 videos.
Within our first 10 videos, we did this. But today we want to expound on this more, because and this is what's going to happen. A lot of y'all this year, y'all about to enter some solid covenants, some solid relationships, because I think a lot of people are writing off people and they're going back around another 40 years because they're writing off people because society says it's got to be XYZ and it's got to take this long. Or if it's not this long, or if they say they ain't ready, that means they don't want you. And that's not necessarily the case.
No, it isn't at all.
Okay.
It don't.
Okay. So there's two things we want you to consider if they say they are not ready. And we're talking about ready for marriage, because we know that the journey of a relationship is more than just the marriage. It is the dating. It is the get to know. It's the engagement season. It's all of that before marriage. And so you don't want to just write someone off before you know what's really happening here. So these are two things. I'm going to tell you the first thing to consider. Uncle T is going to tell you the first thing, the second thing to consider. But the first thing you need to consider, and we're going to break each one of them down. The first thing you need to consider is that, why did your path cross with this person? Why did your path cross with this person? If God is ordering your steps and you believe that God is ordering your steps, when you meet a prospect, instead of putting the burden on the person and the expectations on the person, you need to go to your secret place, because there's a bright light that when you enter your secret place, the Lord is saying, all right, and this is what discernment looks like. All right, why did I cross paths with this person? Why did I allow you to cross paths with this person? And it could be a number of things. One thing, and all this is under number one of the things that could be happening is that the Lord is showing you who you attract. Because it could be that this person that you are getting to know and they say they're not ready for marriage, it could be that, is this again a pattern? Am I attracting unavailable, emotionally unavailable? Yeah. Am I so the first thing under number one is why the Lord is saying, why is the Lord bringing you this person? Or why are you crossing this person's track? Under that, you got to look at who and what am I attracting, and why am I attracting this type of person? If you don't have a pattern of attracting unemotionally available men, then that's a place for a pause. The other thing under number one, why did God bring this person into my life, or why am I crossing this person's path? You need to understand your grace capacity. You need to know your grace capacity. Am I graced for this person? Because it can be a man or a woman. Am I graced for this person who... And,
I want to pause right here, because I think some of you may not have heard that term before, grace capacity. And what we've been talking about in the past was when you meet your person, that person is going to be graced for you in certain areas, and you're going to be graced for that person in certain areas. So when she's talking about grace capacity, that's where you have to be in the moment. You have to be zoned into what's going on to understand if that's for you or not.
Right. And I say grace capacity because do you have even grace for other people? Do you have grace for your sisters? Do you have grace for your parents? Do you have grace? Do you have grace capacity to even, understand people where they are and what, and so that's a point I want to make. The other point I want to make, if God put this person, is ordering us up and he brought this person to cross your path, look at your fruit. Maybe God is saying, I am trying to develop patience in you. I'm trying to develop kindness in you, which goes with a lot of when we talk about, we have videos on this, when God shows someone their spouse in advance, particularly women, when God shows women their husband in advance, usually it's for a reason, and usually it's because he wants to develop you in an area to be grace for that person. And it could be that the Lord is developing fruit in you. He's pruning you. He's putting seed in you, patience and kindness. And so you got to really think about that. The other point is that you got to realize is that when you go on that, when you're considering with your discernment, Lord, what are you saying? Why did this person cross my path? You got to, at this point, when you're in your secret closet seeking the Lord, you got to realize, and if this is for women particularly, that why are you called to a relationship, particularly marriage? You're called to be a helpmeet. And if it's a man, you got to also, this woman is particularly my helpmeet. Like, I gotta, wait a minute, let me slow down a moment before I make irrational decisions and just rush into marriage tomorrow. Like, let me pump my brakes. We talking about, this is my help. This is potentially helpmeet material. This is a prospect. I don't know. And then the last point under, why God made this person cross your path, you got to really dig into, it ain't just about me. The point of a prospect coming into your life, you gotta hurry up and transition into the we mindset. Because if you don't, you will continue to make selfish decisions. So that's the first thing. When somebody says they are not ready for marriage yet, the first thing you need to consider, well, why did God, if he's ordering my steps, and I know the Lord don't make mistakes, why did the Lord allow this person to come into my life? All right.
Wow. That's a lot to impact. That's a lot to unpack. I'm sorry, the unpack. Okay. But I'm going to add something else to it. Okay. The second reason. The second thing you should consider when you hear from a person that they're not ready. The second thing you should consider is, where did you come into their life at?
You say it all the time.
Where did you come into their life at? Because here's the thing. When you meet somebody, remember, y'all's paths haven't been in sync before. You was on your personal journey. They was on theirs. Now that y'all have met, now you need to understand that if a person tells you they're not ready, it might be because that they just went through a divorce, or they just got out of a meaningful relationship and they haven't completely healed yet. Okay. They still trying to recover from that. Okay. They need more time. You can't tell them how much time to take. You can't.
Right.
Okay. It could be the fact that this person they started a new season where they're in a building season. What I mean by that, they just got a new job, or they have a new company that they just started, or they're doing some type of ministry. They got their own ministry. So they're doing that, which means they don't have a lot of emotional space to put a relationship in or a marriage in.
Just yet.
So they're focused on that right now. So you need to consider that. You also need to consider if a person has just not been completely healed yet from any past wounds of anything that they have gone through in their life. Okay. It could be, look, we can go on with this forever. It could also be that a person is someone that is purpose driven. They may be someone that is, what's the other word? They're goal driven or something. So you just have to understand where they are. And they may have these things in their mind saying, I got to accomplish A, B, C, D before I can put someone in a relationship with me. So I can do what I'm in their mind, what they need to have prepared in order to be in a successful relationship. You don't know how a person was brought up and what those things are. You know, it might be something that we talk about all the time. It could be that they haven't found their own identity yet. They could have just went through something and they've healed, but now they're trying to redefine themselves and get who they are first. And they have to be honest with themselves and say, I can't be completely for another person until I make sure I'm complete within myself.
Right.
So
they could have just lost a loved one.
They could have just lost a loved one.
Or even a spouse.
And so there's so many things that you need to consider when a person say that. And it's important for you to understand that so you don't jump. Because here's the thing. You don't want to jump to a quick conclusion. And that could have been your person. It's just they have to go. She talked about that grace. You might be grace for them in a certain area that's going to help them get through that while they're in a relationship with you, but they don't want to move to the next level of the relationship.
Right. That's the thing. It's not that they don't like you per se. I mean, and it depends on what stage of the relationship you're in. It's not that they don't like you. They're dealing with life. Life before you even came.
That person could have just got laid off from a job. A lot of folks just went through that in the pandemic. We just watched a whole lot of people.
A lot of people still recovering from the pandemic. Going through depression.
So you don't know how people are affected by what they've gone through before they've met you. And even when y'all first meet, what they're still going through. So when a person tells you, I'm not ready, don't look at it as, oh my God, like everything just came to an end. He really this, he ain't that, or she ain't this, she ain't that. Don't go there. Start to look at them seriously and say, we need to have some conversations.
Right.
And start to go through these. You might have to just go through them one at a time. And process of elimination, say, what is it? What is it? What is it? And get down to it.
Yeah. And sometimes, and even doing that, use wisdom, because a lot of times you're not going to get the answer from the person. A lot of times it is really going into your secret closet and really allowing the Lord to deal with you in this area. So over the last 2 years, I had a friend who met a guy who lost his wife. So he was, fresh. Well, within the last 3 years or so, he was, a fresh wound. I have a friend who met a guy who had just come out of a broken engagement. I also had a friend who the guy wanted more. She had just been laid off. And then recently, and that's why we changed the title to They, because I think the first video we did 5 years ago, it says when he is not ready. So just recently, one of my good girlfriends, she just moved into, she's probably going to watch this video. Hey girl, I ain't going to tell you her name, but it's beautiful. It's not getting deep in her business. But the gist of it is that she just moved into this brand new swanky apartment. Really nice in the new trendiest part of DC. Very up and coming area. And it's beautiful brand new building. She had been living with her parents in her parents' home all her life. And so when, and she's basically taking care of her parents' home all her life. Now she's never been married. But she has a daughter, but she's in her mid 40s, and she just, she always thought that she was going to leave her parents' house and go right to her husband. So she met this guy, and he checks all her boxes. But she just moved into this beautiful new apartment, and he wants the relationship more than what she's ready for. Now, she's telling herself she's not ready unintentionally.
Mm-hmm.
She's saying it unintentionally because she falls under number two. You met her at a time where she had a new awakening. She found this new discovery of this new place. A new part of her.
A whole nother level of living.
Right.
A lifestyle.
A new lifestyle. She discovered now she's into decorating. She tapped into, but she likes the guy.
Yeah.
She really likes the guy. Let me tell you the difference between men and women. The guy's like, cool. Like, I'm gonna chill out. I'm cool. Like, cool. It don't mean we're gonna stop talking. Like, we just gonna ride this thing out. We're gonna get the get to know you stage. It's gonna be a little bit longer, probably. I ain't going nowhere. Like, we riding. I love to see this new awakening in you, and that's exactly what happened. And not all men are like that, because that's what happened to me. That's what happened to me when I was in my 30s. The guy that I thought that I was going to marry, I had just bought my condo. I had just bought my home, and everything was new to me. And I found I was a new homeowner, and this new discovery about myself. And he was ready to be married. And he was like, see ya. Which is fine, because when that goes back to number one, when the Lord say he's ordering your steps, everything gonna work out for your good.
And that's why you have to understand, first and foremost, in everything we share, we talk about your relationship with the Lord. We talk about discernment. Because if you have that,
he'll let you know if it's worth the investment.
Then don't take too much time trying to figure things out on your own. Like she said, go into your closet, speak to the Lord, ask him directly. What is this? What's going on? And you will be given the answer. Why? Because your steps are being ordered. If you do that, you won't make drastic steps because someone seems to not be ready when they actually are for you. It's just they have to go, they're going through something in their life. And you need to understand that. And you got to know that some of you are in a position to be graced to help them through that.
Yep. And to be there for. And say, for instance, say you meet a guy and he, I don't know, say he is in school. Say he's getting his doctorate and he's in school. So or he's going through real estate or whatever, real estate school, whatever, he's in school. And you're like, but I want to be married now. I want the relationship the relationship to be defined now. That's why it's very important that you go back to number one and say, Lord, what is happening here? Because it's something I need to maybe, develop my grace capacity. But I say that to say, while he's in school, clearly something you could be doing.
Yeah.
Working on you, on yourself. Clearly it could be something. Maybe this is the time that the Lord is saying, I want you to go ahead and volunteer at the shelter or at the elderly home, the seniors home. I have something for you to do as well. And that's giving each other grace and you're having understanding, but the Lord is also working on you and you're being fulfilled in the area. And the two of you are really building this solid relationship, this solid friendship, and going through something together and progressing and journeying life together. Because this whole idea of racing to the finish line to marriage, this got to be changed. Like, what are you running to? What are you racing there for? I mean, I get it. We want to be married. I get it. I get it, but I think the lessons of even once you get to marriage and life happens, you won't have the tools and the capacity to handle it.
Yeah, because I say this a lot. It's better to get it right than to be right. So many people are wanting I. And then if it's the wrong decision, they don't think about the repercussions of what that decision was later on down the line.
Mm-hmm.
You need to understand this person that you're looking for, this God-ordained person, that's who you're going to spend the rest of your life with.
Right.
So you want to get it right. So if a person tells you that they're not ready, don't go into judgment all of a sudden and start accusing and all. No, be understanding. Ask the Lord, what's going on? What is it you need me to see? What is it you need me to understand? What is it you need me to just have grace for? What do you need me to just show that I got faith in you and I'm going to be obedient?
Why did you bring this person to my...
Yes, don't just jump into it's time to accuse or it's time to judge. It's time to jump ship. Because you don't know what the repercussions of that is until after the fact.
Right. And so this whole mindset of, they prolong and got you on a long engagement, or they prolonging you, or, you sitting around waiting for them. No, it's called building a relationship.
Love equity.
It's love. And what that person say, love equity. That's not our phrase.
That's not our word, but I love it.
I love
that phrase.
It's called love equity. It's called really, and we're not saying, because that's a whole different video. You investing and wasting time for somebody who don't even want you.
Right.
That's a whole nother video.
Right.
But that's why you have to really go into your prayer closet in your secret place and say, Lord, what's going on here? I met this person. We've been talking for 6 months, and and he or she, they are doing X, Y, Z, and I feel like the relationship is not progressing. Again, then you got to go to number 2. Consider where you entered their life.
Yes. Did you enter their life when they was at the top of everything, the momentum that
or in the middle,
or at the beginning,
or at you just don't know.
Or did you go into their life? Did you enter their life right after something devastating happened?
Right.
And now they're at the very beginning. They don't even know how to start healing. Right now, they still got anger. They still got animosity. They still got resentment.
Right.
So you need to understand that and put those things in perspective and really consider that when these things are happening.
Yeah, you got to consider how the other person, what the other person is really going through. Like it really once you come with once a prospect comes into your life, your mindset should shift to the other person.
And look, even if it didn't work out, the fact that you had the right mind shift, the fact that you took the right perspectives and the right considerations is still going to put both of you in a better situation moving forward to meeting your person, which means you both still learned and you still grew from that.
Right.
It's not all about saying, I got to get my person, and if this person ain't it, I'm just throwing them in the trash.
Right. No, and it's got to happen at this time. And like the person commented, how long should we be waiting from the time we meet to somebody to the time we marry? And so it's got to be, we're going to talk for 2 weeks on the phone. Then we're going to have our first date, because I'm controlling all of this. And we're going to have our first date, within 30 days, and within 6 months, because Terrence and Jill said they're going to know in 6 months if they want to be with me, and they're going to want. So in 6 months, they're going to pop the question. And then because I want a big wedding, it's going to take me a year to plan a wedding. So, and then within that year, so we should be married within a year and a half. We should be married. It's going to be about a year and a half. I got it all figured out. All I need now is the man to come in and fulfill all of my timeline. That's really how life is, like, kind of, that's telling you, right.
But that ain't how it works. Everybody's journey.
That's different. The beautiful thing of it. Everybody's relationship is we have several followers of this channel. When we go back and have these discussions, because they're now in their journey with their person, and so we always say, well, if he would have said, it's going to be 6 to 8 months before we have our first date, what would you would have done? They would say, "Oh, absolutely not." If that guy would have told me in January that I ain't gonna want to go out on a date with you until September, you probably would have said, "Oh, deuces." But when you're journeying with someone and you're allowing life to unfold, you be like, "Oh my God, it's been 6 months already. It's been a year already." You just,
That's why we say never say what you won't do or go through, because when you're with the right person, it's not going to make sense.
It's not going to make sense. You're going to enjoy.
And your friends ain't going to agree with half the stuff that y'all are going through.
That's why you don't tell them.
That's why you have to understand. You got to keep things to yourself.
Yes.
Talk to the Lord.
Yeah, it's really, honestly, everybody's love is beautiful and everybody's journey is different. Every person is different. So to try to contain it into one formula.
Yeah, this is not one of those cookie cutters where everything's going to fit.
Or a blueprint or even the Lord, the Bible gives us principles, but the Bible doesn't even say it's got to be like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. The Bible doesn't even say that, because love is so powerful. You cannot control it. You got to let love have its and patience have its perfect will and perfect way in your life. So, all right. Did y'all understand what we were saying? When they say they are not ready, consider this first. 1, consider, why did this person cross my path? And 2,
when did you come into their life? You need to consider those 2 things.
Yes.
And if you do that, it'll put you in such a better place moving forward. Because again, we don't know what we don't know until we know. Yeah.
Stop cheating yourself out the process and the journey of really getting to know somebody. Chill out
and
relax.
Understand that hardship is going to be in the relationship, even if it's that person for you, because God never said he's going to take away, you know, any type of hardship that comes.
He said he's going to take you through. He's going to get you through it. Because even in your marriage, once you get in your marriage, these things, you got to consider these things may happen as well. These things could come up as well. These things could, death of a loved one. It could be the person, one of y'all could say, okay, I want to go back to school. And these things happen. Will you have the grace and the capacity to support your spouse when those things come up and when those desires come up? And so the last thing you want is for somebody to resent you, hold resentment because you rushed them when they were still in there trying to get to know who they are.
And being vulnerable and needing your support and your understanding. And the things that you do well for them, but you wasn't open to it in that particular situation.
All right.
So with that being said, we pray this sends you back to God and you get all your answers that you need in prayer. And we look forward to seeing you guys in our next video.
Peace.